Hey guys, it's me again. So for this video, I'm doing something a little bit different than you'll have seen on most of my videos. So this one's more about stress management. And there's several reasons I'm doing this. For the first reason, I've been going through a lot of stress lately, and I do tend to panic when it goes to like this point where like I've had that much stress. I tend to have panic attacks and a lot of stress to a point where I just sleep all day long, things like that. So that's kind of what started this. Is I'm like, all right, I'm having these issues, and I'm trying to figure out how to manage it better. I'm not very good at managing it. But then also on top of that, we're going back into school season, which for all age groups, that's extremely stressful. You have kids that are going back to school, so it's new schools, or you're going from elementary to middle or middle to high or anything like that. It's just stressful. Or going into college. For the college kids, going into college is extremely stressful. Then on top of that, when you get out of school, it's that time where it's just traffic starts up again. I mean, if you're just working and you're single, traffic starts up again. That's ridiculously stressful for those of us who get stuck in the traffic. And then on top of that, if you are a parent, oh my God, the stress, because you've now got all these schedules. You've got the school schedules, you've got after school stuff, like, oh my God, sports and tutors and all of this. So it's very stressful. So I was thinking we could talk about stress management, because I feel like it would help everybody in this world. It would be very helpful. So let's go ahead and start with a couple of things that I've been doing lately that have actually helped me out. So I've just had a lot of stress when it comes to work and it comes to home life. So I started having, it just started out with just getting frustrated and needing to sleep it off, or needing to go run or something like that. And then it got worse progressively. So it progressively got worse to a point where I used to have panic attacks when I was younger, and I think it's more of a control freak thing for me. I need everything to be perfect. I need everything to be correct, and everything needs to be in its row. And if it's not the way I planned it, then oh my God. So that's my issue. That's where my stress comes from. But so a lot of stuff has just been kind of not going the way I've been wanting it to go and things like that. So I've been having some panic attacks again. And so I've been working on my stress relief. So the first one, and probably the most simple thing, is just breathing. I know it sounds super dorky, but breathing and breath control and learning how to just take a minute, take that good gut deep breath, and then let it go and let it out. So I'll start to feel antsy, and I'll start to feel anxious, and sometimes it's when I'm gonna cry, sometimes it's not, but then I start to feel something in my gut, and I'm like, okay, I need to go somewhere. So if I'm at work, I just go to a corner somewhere. I go somewhere where nobody is, and I take a few gut breaths. Now, when I say gut breaths, I mean, I do yoga, so I love yoga, but I love the breathing in yoga. I feel like that relaxes me more than anything. And it's those breaths. It's not the shallow up here in your chest breath. It's like, I always picture, those long balloons that, people make into animals, those long balloons. I feel like that's from, top of my chest all the way down to my pelvis, all the way down to my gut. And I just take that big deep breath, and imagine that balloon filling up all the way down into my gut, and then I let it all out. So that's what I mean by gut breaths. I get all the way down in my gut. And I just do a few of those until I start to feel myself relax. And it's just, sometimes I close my eyes and just breathe. And I know it sounds super dorky, but it really, really helps. And I really feel like that for those panic attacks that just come on all of a sudden in public, and I'm like, no, I need to calm down. So I'll go somewhere and I'll hide, and sometimes it helps. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. So that's a good way for me to just kind of relax and breathe. I've got my notebook down here, so if I keep looking down here, that's what that is. And let's see here. Yeah, just slow breathing, controlling your breathing, things like that. When I have a big panic attack, I start to hyperventilate, and I can't control my breath. So it's one of those things where I literally just either bend over or I curl up in a ball, and I just have to focus on my breath. So I always say, I don't know if I'm saying the numbers wrong or not. You can ask professionals, Google it yourself, one of those things. But a big one is I count. So it depends on, I guess, how I'm feeling. I'll do 3 slow, deep, like 3 seconds in, and then I'll let out for a good 6 seconds. So these are very, very slow seconds. So if you're one that tends to count fast, I'd go a little bit longer. Probably go 6 in, 9 out, something like that. So I just breathe in for 3 very slow seconds, and then breathe out, like let the air out for 6 long seconds. So it just kind of gives you that time, teaches you to slow down. And it's one of those things too, when you're hyperventilating, it's extremely difficult to do, but I have to, like, you just have to fight and you have to focus on it. And that's what I do, is I just fight and focus really hard on getting the counts. And it doesn't work always. Like, I'll end up doing like 3 quick ones, 6 quick ones, but it's slowing me down than what I was doing. So that's always kind of helpful. All right, next thing is yoga, which is where I got the breathing from. Yoga, I mean, it sounds weird, but my stress builds up. So it's one of those things, I'm a Virgo, my stress builds up until it just blows up. So I can handle a lot until it literally is like a volcano. Just one day it goes boom and explodes everywhere. So yoga is one thing that I have to force myself to do every day, to have that time out, to have that quiet time, to have that focus on something else. I have to clear my mind. Yoga's big on just clear your mind, focus on your breathing, focus on the position, you know, what pose you're in, things like that. So instead of focusing on everything I have to get done, I'm focusing on yoga, I'm focusing on balance, I'm focusing on, you know, something else. Like when I'm in tree pose, like one thing for me is I stare at the wall in front of me and I have to focus on not falling over. It's really, it takes all your focus. So you see what I mean? It just kind of like lets you focus on something else for a minute, so you're not always focusing on the tasks that need to be done. And that's a lot of my problem, is I have a lot to do in a day and I always feel like I'm falling behind all the time. And if you're a mother, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not a mother yet, but I'm already there. If, like, you know, busy singles, my goodness, you know what I'm talking about too. You've got to keep up with everything, everybody's birthdays. You've got to keep up with shopping lists. You've got rent. You've got all these bills to pay. You've got, you know, all this stuff to do at work, plus all your stuff with your friends. Oh, this person's birthday's coming up, so we got to start planning this. And it's just, it gets in your head sometimes. And sometimes you just need to just have a quiet time, which comes to my next little tip. And it's going to be quiet time. And I know that's a very, very, very hard thing to do. My goodness, like I said, I don't even have kids, and it's very difficult to do for me. So that's, if you're a mother, more power to you if you can find quiet time. But yeah, like I literally, same thing with, like, I know this is nowhere near a dog, but, or a kid, but I take my dog and I'll lock them out of the bathroom. Because if not, like, you know, and take a bath. Because if not, they're right there in the bathtub and they just want attention all the time. It's probably the same thing with kids. Don't lock out your children. You know, don't lock out any little babies or anything. But, you know, you can hand them off and just say, I need 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes to just breathe. And it's one of those things that it's very difficult to do, but it's something that you have to do for mental well-being. And I'm gonna use that word because it is. People, you know, work on their bodies so much, and they work to be, you know, pretty, and they work to be healthy. They work on the food that they take in. They work so hard on everything like that. I don't think a lot of people put a lot of weight on mental health. And being in the field that I am, I do see a lot of people who don't take care of themselves mentally and then have these complete outbreaks. So it's something that you do have to just kind of, you have to have your moment for yourself. You have to have your mental health time. And for you, that could be anything. I love yoga because it gives me something to focus on, and it's very healthy, helps me with stretching, makes me feel better. Like, I don't have as much neck pain, I don't have much back pain, things like that. Your thing could be going to dance. Your thing could be doing 50 push-ups. I don't know what your thing is, but whatever your thing is. So it's one of those things where you have to find your little quiet time, your little time. So like for me, quiet time is a bath or reading, or even I do this thing at night when I let the dogs out to go potty. I have a patio. I lay down on the patio. Sounds weird, I know, but I lay down on the patio and I just look at the stars. I love the stars, I love the moon, I love everything about the sky. So for me, that's a great time. I just sit there and I look at the stars and I look at constellations, or I'll just look around and be like, oh, you know, I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna look it up eventually. But yeah, like I'll just look at the stars and I think it's really cool. Just good, quiet, relaxed time for me to just chill out before bed. So I love doing that. That's actually another thing too, is chilling out before bed really has helped me. So I've tried, I'm saying tried, to turn off electronics an hour before bed. Really hard to do, but I've tried. But those nights that you don't have the electronics on for that, it's a nice quiet time. Because, you know, everybody turns on the TV for background noise, or they have a radio on for background noise, or they're looking at their phone and it's kind of like a background noise thing. If you just turn it all off and listen to the silence, it's quite nice for letting your body relax before you go to bed, and you end up with a deeper sleep, which means you end up well rested, which means you wake up rested, and it just kind of makes you feel a little bit better going around. Back to that quiet time, meditation. Going back to the yoga practice, as you can see, I've been doing yoga for quite a while. I absolutely love it. I started out doing it as a cross training when I was skating, when I was a figure skater, and it's just one of those things that stuck with me, and I still love it to this day, and I believe in it full-heartedly. Being in medical, same thing there. Like, there are yoga therapists. I'm all about, you know what, you know, you're rehabbing from, you know, some kind of a car accident or something. Yoga works great. So I love that, because you do it at your speed, you do it at your difficulty level and everything like that. But it's really nice for getting the body all stretched out, getting the body all relaxed, getting you focused on something else. So it's really good all around. Yoga is awesome, awesome, awesome. I will praise that to the end of time. Next little tip I have is go for a walk. That could just mean get out. I know, really weird. Get out, go for a walk. I love to go hike. I live in the mountains-ish, like right at the base of the mountains. So I'll go up, you know, drive up to the mountains, just go hike. Go for a walk in your neighborhood. If you have woods behind your house, just go for a walk out there. It's one of those things where you just go, and it's just the repetitive stepping, just being quiet in your head, or just even thinking through things. If you do need to think through something, a walk is a great way to do that. I don't like sitting on a treadmill. I've never liked sitting on a treadmill, even, you know, training and being an athlete. Never liked treadmills. I hate those things so much. But it's just, to me, like, I'm like, there's TV screens here, and then there's, you know, radio on here, and then there's people over here. It's just too stimulating. There's too much going on. So that's why I say go out for a walk in your neighborhood. You can say hi to your neighbors. The kids that are running around, like, I don't know if your neighborhood's like mine, but the kids are so sweet. They're always like, hey, and they'll always come over and say hi, but they keep walking, you know. And that's one of the things I like, is just kind of walk. You can get happy, you can relax, you can breathe in fresh air, which I don't know if a lot of people know that's very important, is to get fresh air every once in a while. And same thing with going through the woods. I love walking through nature. That's why I tend to go for hikes in the mountains, is I love trees and I love animals, and it's just, like I said, it's quiet out there. There's no TV to distract you. There's no radio, there's no laptop, there's no phone. While I absolutely love technology, obviously, I love technology, but I also need my quiet time. I need my time away from technology, because there are times when it drives me up a wall. So there's times to just get away, and I say go for a walk. Go for a walk anywhere that makes you happy. You know, go over to a local park, just walk around the park, anything like that. Just get out, move around. It's great for you. My last little tip, we'll have a bonus tip too, but my last little tip is just laugh. Right? Sounds weird, but laughing does amazing things to your body. Just laugh. So if it's making sure you make time to go out with your girlfriends or your friends or whatever, go out and talk to them and laugh. Go do goofy stuff, stupid goofy stuff. I'm older, but I just had a water balloon fight with my nieces and my husband yesterday. So it's like, just do stupid goofy things. Play with your kids, like the little things, like play with your kids, play hot lava with them. You know that game where you jump from couch to couch and you play hot lava? Best game ever. But yeah, like where you can't touch the floor because it's supposed to be lava. So it's just fun things like that. Play tag, or just take your kids for a walk, laugh, just be goofy. Whenever my nieces fall asleep, my nieces stay with me sometimes. Whenever they fall asleep on the couch or somewhere, I'll find like goofy ways to wake them up. Like I just woke up my oldest niece by like my nose was on her nose and I just go and it just woke her up and made me laugh. So it's just laughing, just making sure you find time in a day to laugh, because we get so serious at work, we get so serious sometimes at our family. Sometimes you just gotta laugh and you gotta be goofy. That makes all the difference in the world, in your body, internally, in your mental health. So it's a great tip. So my last little bonus tip is something that while I was researching these things, this kept popping up over and over and over again. I know it's because it's a thing right now, but the fidget spinner. Yeah, I know. It's weird. I personally don't like this thing, I guess. I'm not sure. I just got it and I've been playing with it, but I'm like, I keep dropping it and I can't do all those little tricks that kids do with it. And it drives me nuts because I'm like, I don't know. It's not my thing. I guess I'm also not a kid. So some kids absolutely love these. I'll probably be giving this to one of my nieces, let them have this. But this does good for people. My brain, if you're like me, my brain goes constantly. Like I cannot shut it up. It analyzes everything and it thinks about everything. So this is kind of a nice way to just focus on something else, I guess. Tying into that is the other new thing is what is it called? A fidget box or something? Fidget dice is what it's called. So it's this box here with weird stuff all over it. I don't know. But you just play with the little things. So like this one, I don't know, it's like this reminds me of a joystick, like little thing. There's a switch, which by the way, if I heard that constantly, you might get slapped, but yeah. And then there are these little, oh God, I don't even know the names for all of these things, but there's a little ball on here, little buttons that you can push. And then there's like, ooh, okay, I do like that. That would probably be my thing. There's an indent on here, so like it's a perfect size for a thumb. And just doing that, because I used to have a stone, probably the fidget spinner of my day, but it was a stone that had a thumbprint indentation in it. And I used to just constantly, it was on my desk at home, and I would sit there and mess with it like this while I was doing my homework. So that's probably a very good device. But yeah, so, oh, and there's like a little woo thing on it. Okay. Anyway, as you can tell, I like this better than I like this. This I've heard good things about so far. Having worked with kids and still working with kids that have learning disabilities and that have ADHD and things like that, if this, if you're sitting here messing with it while you're writing, I'm right-handed, so we're gonna do this. But if you're messing with it while you're writing, I don't care. You get the work done and you're learning. I don't care if this is spinning in your hand. But I have seen worksheets as well with this. But I feel like this could also just get, this probably more than this, but this could get rid of a little bit of stress too as an adult. If you're at work and someone's bugging you, instead of like tapping on your desk or just holding it in until you blow up, just sit there and go, yep. I don't know why I feel like that could do it. But these are two things that when I was looking up stress management, these two popped up. So these might be very inexpensive, cheap ways. Keep these on your desk at work. Keep these, on your study desk for school, in your book bag, anything like that. These might be good things for you. You never know. I'm all about figure out what works for you. These are just tips that like work really well for me. Figure out what works for you. I will say though that walking, breathing, laughing, those are just kind of universally, it works for everybody because everybody loves to laugh. Go for a walk and get to see people. That works. All right, so that is it for my 5 tips plus a bonus tip for stress management going back into the back to school time frame. No, I am excited though. It's fall. I can't say much. I mean, I love fall. Can't wait for September because that's like September through December, favorite time ever. So that's it for my tips. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more videos. Don't forget to like, give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it or if it helps you out in any way. Go ahead and put some tips too in the comment section if you guys have any other tips, because I would love to learn what other people do for their stress management. It may work for me. And let's see here. I will see you guys next time. Bye.